Are we live? Hello, good morning. I just got back from my workout, got back from my Pilates, and I wanted to jump on live. It says you are now live. Okay. Wanted to jump on live and talk about this thing. And I want to see if it resonates with you because I'm going to keep this actually super duper short and sweet today and want to chat about really making it hard and making it a little bit harder than it needs to be. So, if you are, first of all, we've never met before, my name is Sylvie McCracken, and I help health practitioners go online. I help health practitioners create an online business fully remote that they can replace their private practice income with, if they so choose to, in 20 flexible hours a week with one online program. And, I've been working with health practitioners for a minute now, and I've seen all kinds of different things. I've had all kinds of different conversations. And maybe if you're watching this, first of all, I would love to hear. I can't see the comments we'll see, whether you're live or watching the replay. I would love to hear from you in the comments. I would love to know what type of health practitioner you are. I had some really great conversations in the last week. I was at a conference and saw a whole bunch of people in the room that were like, I've been on your email list for 3 years. I'm like, okay, we definitely got to chat. Anyway, what I wanted to talk about is it being hard. And here's the thing, like, if you have been a health practitioner, maybe you are in private practice, so you're seeing your own, whether you're a physical therapist or you're a nutritionist or an MD or a naturopath or whatever it might be. Maybe you're in private practice running your own thing, having your own shingle, or maybe you are an employee at a hospital or in somebody else's private practice, right? But either way, you've been helping patients, maybe even clients, for years, right? And you've been doing your thing, you've been doing it one-on-one, you're proficient at it. But I want you to think about how hard it has been actually to get here. I want you to think about how hard it has been, just for a second, to get to where you're at, right? So a mix of different things. So this whole buffet might not apply to you, but pick and choose which ones were your hard. And I'd love to hear it in the comments below. What was hard about getting here? Whether it was, a hell of a lot of student loans, perhaps, right? Some professions I hear of everything from like $50,000 invested all the way to $500,000 invested in different professions. So perhaps it was that. It was the hurdle of like spending all the money to get to where you're at, to get your letters behind your name, whatever those may be. Maybe it was, the like exams that you had to do and all these certifications, the continuing education credits, interviewing when you're doing day jobs, or maybe it was getting your private practice up and running. If you're doing your own thing, you know what that's like in terms of the overhead from even having a place, having a brick and mortar to, really getting the clients, which, those of you that are business owners know full well. It's not like if you build it, they will come, right? You open your private practice and boom, a flood of patients patients and clients just fall from the sky. Not usually what I hear as the story. And so think about in terms of like how hard it's been really to get to where you're going. And totally, first of all, like if I could give you all a hug, I would, because that sounds like a freaking nightmare. And it really has been blood, sweat, and tears, it feels like, right? In order to get to where you're at. And I'm sure with a few knee scrapes along the way, right? So maybe you didn't pass your exams the first time. Maybe, you didn't get into the school that you wanted to get into. Maybe, I don't know, like the continuing education credit seems like every 10 minutes you need to have a new one in order to keep your license on point. Maybe you moved states. So for certain professions in certain states, I hear this all the time of like, move states, had to get recertified or couldn't, so I wasn't working for a while, etc., etc. Like I feel like I could fill 10 novels with the amount of different hards that I've heard. And so here's the thing. I mean, all that stuff, like real deal, has happened. I'd love to hear if I missed anything, if there's any stories I haven't yet heard, ping me in the comments or shoot a reply to the email that you're watching this on, because I'd love to hear it. But here's where, again, and if any of my clients pop on later, you can attest to the fact that Real Talk is kind of the only talk I got, the only setting that I came pre-installed with. The reality is what I notice is a lot of people, you maybe it's you, taking that hard and assuming that when you go online, when you do this new thing, when you start this new venture, that it's got to be also hard, right? That it's going to be also hard. that it must be hard because everything's been hard up until now, right? So obviously, and especially this is new, let's say you've never done anything online before. Maybe for some of you, if you've been in a day job, you haven't even done your own private practice, you haven't done your own business before, right? So going online, taking your expertise, taking your wares, so to speak, online is hard, let alone like doing things like, a lot of the hesitations we hear is like, what about technology? I'm not good with technology, or I'm not good at sales, or I'm not good at marketing, or insert any other, sort of things here. It's going to be hard. And so with that sort of thought process, right, with it, it's going to be hard. What I notice is a lot of health practitioners sort of staying in that comfort zone, staying in that safe zone of doing the one-on-one, of doing private practice or whatever, or seeing patients one-on-one all day, every day, or staying in their day job because of benefits and salaries and whatever. Those are 10 other Facebook Lives I'm going to do some other day. And not really taking that leap, right? Or even worse, sometimes, taking the leap and then deciding, yeah, but this, like, it worked and this seems too easy. That's a whole other conversation for another day. So I want you to think about, now here's the thing, let me just in case anyone might mishear me here, like the reality is there's work involved, right? Like every time when you see me share a testimonial of one of our clients, like it's one of the first things I say is like, they've made X amount of dollars, but by the way, this didn't happen in 48 hours. And by the way, they definitely rolled up their sleeves and there was some more hard work involved in terms of like, like putting in the time, putting in the effort and all that good stuff. But it can actually happen relatively quickly. And it's a lot simpler than you think, right? Now there's still work involved, right? It's sort of like I say, it's simple, but it's not easy in that it's not going to happen in 48 hours. And I just feel like I'm so turned off by the internet marketing land that makes it sound like, you're gonna in 48 hours you're gonna be sipping Mai Tais by the beach, right? That's definitely not what we're doing, right? So if you want to get rich quick situation, I'm not your gal. But I see people overcomplicating it or delaying it, not jumping into doing your own thing because you think it's got to be harder than it is. Because you think it's got to be as hard as everything was to get up to here. What I want you to think about, and this is just me going on I can't help but going on a mini coaching moment, is really like, is it possible that everything that you've sort of learned, all the hard things that you've done, all the lessons that you've picked up, all the knee scrapes that you've picked up, all the warrior wounds that you've picked up from, all the way from going to school to setting up your private practice or interviewing for a million day jobs to having really difficult, conversations or difficult clients or patients or something like that along the way, right? All the different things that you've had to do that are hard. Is it possible that all of those are kind of, you're able to actually cash that in now? You're able to actually take those lessons. You're able to actually take those hard things, take the ROI of those hard things that you've done. And actually, this could be a lot easier now. This could be a lot simpler. Like you could actually, because you have all this expertise, because you've seen countless, literally, try and count them, patients over the last however many years, that you are so much more prepared and that this could be a capstone of sorts, that you could quite simply, take that expertise, take all of the different, learning lessons that you've done in terms of selling yourself even in an interview or selling yourself, to why a client or patient should work with you one-on-one. All of those different things and actually put it into a program and put it online so that you could be fully remote, so that this summer even you could be working from wherever it is that you want to work, right? So what we don't sell, quote unquote, what we don't do is, look, again, it's like, it's not get rich quick. It's not putting something online and then moving to Tahiti tomorrow. But what we love helping our clients with is, our clients are health practitioners that want to make a difference in the world, want to make, good money. We have no apologies around making good money. And wanting to have that freedom to be able to do whatever it is that they want with it. So for some of our clients, that's, being able to pick up their kid from ballet practice or soccer practice or whatever it might be. For other clients, that is, spend time with their soon to be retired spouse. For other clients, it's, they're about to be empty nesters. Other clients are about to go on maternity leave and don't want to go back to work after that. And other clients might want to, work like for a few hours before they hit the beach in the morning while they're spending all summer in Italy, right? So, and there's a million different configurations as you can see. So it doesn't matter in terms of what you want your freedom for, but it's those three things, like making a really big impact in the world, helping those that you're supposed to help, making good money while you're doing it, being able to provide for those, for your family and for those that you employ, if you choose to have employees, etc. And also having that freedom, most importantly. But really, what today's Facebook Live is about is in terms of it doesn't have to be hard. And if I may, right, like go ahead and turn this off now if you don't want to hear real talk. Turn this off now if you can't handle it. Turn this off now if, you get offended easily. Go ahead. I'll give you a second. Go ahead. Turn this off now. But I'm going to go ahead and go on a limb, even though, like whether we've chatted or not, just statistically speaking, what I've seen is you are making it harder than it needs to be. And I understand why. Like, I understand why. Like, I get it. It's been hard up until now. So you just assume, like, all right, like, this is going to be hard too. I've actually, the best example I've seen of this is when it's actually working, right? When someone's actually, like, not even the delaying to get started. That I see all the time. People not taking the leap, people not believing in themselves, people not wanting to carve out the time, et cetera, et cetera. That's a Tuesday. But, every once in a while I'll see someone actually do it and then they're like, "Holy cow, I made X amount of money." And it happened relatively quickly, right? I mean, with work involved, again, with work involved, but because they have a patient list of 200 people or something like that. So those of you that have that are in a day job, it will take you a little bit longer. But for those that are in private practice and have a patient list of a couple hundred people, nothing crazy, right? Nothing, that's not 16,000, it's 200 people. And all of a sudden they make six figures or close to six figures within a matter of weeks. Now, there's work to be done. Like there's still, we've got to create this thing, we've got to deliver this thing, etc. So let me, again, they didn't blink and make six figures, right? They did some stuff and they got to do some more stuff. But then that's where it's like, wait a second, this can't be right. Like we've got to overcomplicate it. And I see the self-sabotage, creep in of like, how can we overcomplicate this? And I'm like, yo, hold on. We want to intentionally keep it simple, especially to start. If you want to be fancy later, we can add complications later. So, with love, if that's you, if that resonates, sorry, if that resonates, awesome. Like with love, love confessions, definitely, pop them below if you're brave enough to do it, publicly, or shoot me an email. Hit the reply button. This definitely lands in our inboxes, so you will definitely hear from a human. But would love to have that conversation in terms of like, all right, like I see myself doing this, I see myself overcomplicating it. I'm ready to stop overcomplicating it. There's got to be a better way, right? There is. Like the reality is there is. We can make an impact, we can make great income, and we can have freedom. It doesn't have to be complicated. By the way, I am you. By the way, I did all of this. Like this was me. And every once in a while, my team has to catch me on, like my team has to call me out and be like, is there a faster path from A to B? And I'm like, oh, look, we're doing it again. So, like zero shame, but again, lovingly sort of calling you out on, are you overcomplicating this? Do you have a roadmap? Like maybe it's just that. Maybe it's that you don't have a roadmap. You can't see the how. Cool. Like that's what we're here for. So wanted to keep this short. It's already at 12 minutes, so I'm going to wrap this up, but that's literally what I wanted to share. If you're a health practitioner, if you want a faster path, if you know that there's a better way than just doing one-on-one, even if right now you're thinking, I want to keep some of my one-on-one, awesome. You can totally do that. Nobody's going to make you give up your private practice or quit your day job or anything. Nobody's going to make you do anything. But if you want to explore what it would be like to actually have a location independent thing that you can run from wherever, you can help people, that you can make a full-time income. Do with that what you will. If you want to replace your full-time income, awesome. If you want to keep it and have a second full-time income, awesome. That's totally fine too. If you want to go to part-time in your private practice, awesome, right? You can a la carte this whichever way you want. Then definitely apply for our program courses for health professionals and also our advanced private training, right? So you'll get our advanced private training totally free, but it is application only. Sorry, I'm like shedding over here. I will pop the link, sylviamccracken.com/apply in the comments below. I would love to see your application. It's 2 questions and some contact details from you. And if we're a good fit, we'll definitely get that training in your inbox to you, and would love to connect. I always love talking to people that are doing good in the world, that have something that is, incredible, that have an expertise that is needed and is being held back, is only available to the people that can see you one-on-one during your lifetime. I would love to explode that and make sure that, the rest of the world can benefit from it as well. And of course, have you make a great income and be able to live your life however it is that you want to live it, with whoever you want to spend more time with. Cool. All right. So we'll pop that link below. I'm trying to say that 10 times fast, and would love to hear from you. If you're a health practitioner, definitely apply for our courses for health professionals, and definitely would love some confessions. If you're making it harder than it needs to be, let me know. We'd love to hear where that's come up. I've got stories, y'all. And we'd also love to hear what you've kind of already done that's hard. What things have you already been through that's hard? So if this resonates, let me know, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.